This class will look at search engines. We'll look at different approaches to the use of search engines. Now, you'll notice it's part 2, and there are several parts to our discussion of search engines. So this is part 2, and there are several more sessions related to this. So let's start by talking about what we call a Metasearch engine. Now, Metasearch are all-in-one search engines perform a search by the use of more than one other search engine to complete the search job. In other words, a Metasearch engine uses other search engines, perhaps several of them, to conduct the search. So we type our search into the Metasearch engine, and it in turn opens up in the background other search engines and asks them to go away and find the information. So a Metasearch engine is using other search engines to find out what we're looking for. When it gets duplicate retrievals, when several of the search engines that it's using in the background bring back the same results, then it eliminates some of the results and just gives us one of each. The results are ranked according to how well they match the query. So the top results, the ones which are most closely related to what we're looking at, will be presented at the top, and there will be a list going down, perhaps results which are related but not necessarily completely related to what we're looking for. Now, the advantages of a Metasearch engine, well, a single query can access a lot of search engines. So instead of opening up lots of search engines ourselves and typing the same query in, a Metasearch engine does it all for us. The disadvantage is a high noise to signal ratio. A lot of matches will not be suitable for you. A lot of matches have been brought back by the various search engines. Some of them will not be that relevant. So the Metasearch engine, by and large, does not discriminate against the less useful, the most useful, and so on. So there will be a lot of noise, a lot of irrelevant returns, and it's important to note that. Now, popular Metasearch engines, well, Metasearch, www.metasearch.com, that's quite a popular one. And there's another one, dogpile.com. There are also, in terms of searches, the use of what's known as white pages and yellow pages. White pages allows the user to look up information about individuals. So we could look up where individuals live, what their postcode is, perhaps what their phone number is. So white pages, generally speaking, contain information about individuals. Now, the information is generally not free. So we go to the home page of the white pages we're using, and we're asked to register and pay some money and check. Then we're able to check the whereabouts of certain people, or their email address, or whatever. So we can use it to track down telephone numbers and email addresses and that sort of thing. The problem with this type of search is people can abuse it. We have an issue of privacy. We like to be able to maintain our lives, and maintain our lives in a way that suit us. We don't want necessarily all our information to be made available online. We get lots of emails we don't want, or nuisance telephone calls from marketing companies, or whatever it is. So it can be abused. This type of search can be abused. So the use of white pages may be seen as an invasion of our privacy. But Yellow Pages, moving away from the white pages, Yellow Pages contains information about businesses. The type of products or the location of the business, the telephone number, the email address, contacts, and so on. So Yellow Pages may bring back information about businesses. Here we could look at Bigfoot, which is a form of Yellow Pages. Yahoo is quite a popular site and contains many different facilities within the site itself. So typing in yahoo.com opens up many different areas of search, and many of them are very useful. But there are also others, who, where, for example. And we have Yellow Pages for Yahoo, YP, yellowpages.yahoo.com. We also have superpages.com. So we have many different facilities, many different types of Yellow Page that we can use to try and get information about businesses. Now, as a comparison, well, if we have, let's say, directories and search engines, let's try and do very basic, very simple comparisons of the two. Well, a directory allows you to explore and get what you want eventually. So the directory is bringing up a lot of information related to the search, and then we have to go through that information trying to find exactly what we want. The use of a search engine, well, it should bring you the exact page. It should be related to the words and phrases you've typed into the search engine itself. So if the search is properly specified, then precise pages should come up. Whereas a directory tends to be a collection of sites and collection of pages, and we have to filter through those to try and find which ones are most appropriate for us and for what we want. Use a directory to find, let's say, cooking related websites. So we might use a directory to try and open lots of cookery sites. We could use a search engine to find specific recipes. So we might go to a search engine and type in vegetarian curry, and it'll bring back perhaps recipes how to make a vegetarian curry, and it'll tell us about the ingredients and the cooking time and the tips and so on. Whereas a directory will be just a whole list of sites related to cooking, or related to perhaps vegetarian cooking, but we have to sort through those sites to find out which one is most appropriate. We could use a directory, for example, to try and find travel guides in a country, but again we have to find out which one meets our requirements. The directory simply gives us a list of travel guides in a country, whereas a search engine, we may be able to refine the search, what we type in, and we're able to get, let's say, different types of transport and the schedules for the transport and the cost of the transport. So with the search engine it's much more refined. A directory will give us the information, but it also requires us to put in extra work to try and find out which specifically meets our requirements. So now we've got this idea of different types of search, and that's all I'm going to do in this session. I'm going to leave it, and we've got a further insight into this idea of search and the use of search engines, directories, and Metasearch, and the use of aggregates, where we type into the Metasearch engine and it opens up different search engines and brings us a more refined set of results based on very wide search by the other engines. So we have a much more detailed picture of how search is conducted now. So let's just leave it at that and call this part 2 of our talk on search. Leave it at that and say thank you for watching.